let's talk security. When you're building a SaaS application, you're generally building for organizations, companies, businesses, right? And so they typically have a higher standard when it comes to the security around the tools that they use, because they need to make sure that their data, their customers' data is protected. And Bubble's going to take care of you there. There's a lot of built-in security that's going on behind the scenes that you don't have to worry about. For example, Bubble is SOC 2 compliant, they're GDPR compliant. You can send email confirmations when your user signs up. Your user's passwords are encrypted. You don't ever have access to your user's passwords. You can set up two-factor authentication. You can set up single sign-on. I encourage you to take a look at Bubble's own security page as it details all of the various capabilities that are protecting your application, so you don't have to worry about what happens when you start to scale that SaaS app. Now, what about your own management of a SaaS application behind the scenes? As you start to grow this application, you're typically going to involve a team of people. At least that's what we have seen. It may not be in the early versions, it may come later on, but you want to be prepared to work with other people to help maintain your app if it starts to grow. So what is Bubble going to do to help you collaborate with other developers alongside you? Well, first, you have the ability to invite people into your editor, and you can restrict the type of access they have as well. This is great if you're working with someone who's going to be dedicated on troubleshooting things, or on implementing a new feature, on integrating things with your app while you work on the rest, or maybe it's reversed. Those roles are switched around. You have the ability to invite collaborators to your application. The next thing that you can do is work in multiple branches. So this is available on the higher tiered paid plans of Bubble, but you have the ability to create multiple development environments to work on features, in an isolated way. This is especially helpful if you're working in a team. That way, someone working in one area isn't going to interrupt somebody else working in another area. There's a lot of different things you can do to take advantage of multiple branches. It's very common for even in traditional coding environments to be able to separate your work in that way. And then finally, you also have a lot of helpful version control, restoration of your construction of your app, of your database. If you ever need to revert back to a previous version, this is absolutely available to you. I mean, these things are standard when it comes to building applications. So of course, Bubble is going to offer them as well. Now, when it comes to SaaS applications, these are typically ones that will grow very quickly, because usually the users of a SaaS app are companies, organizations that can likely bring in a lot of users all at once, or a lot of data very quickly to work with on a regular basis. So I just want to call out that for the long term, Bubble does have an enterprise plan that you can take advantage of as well. On the enterprise plan, you can place your app on an isolated server in the region of your own choice. You get a dedicated account manager. You have much more granular controls over a lot of the technical settings behind the scenes, version control, data restoration, and a lot more. So know that this is available here for you to grow with long term.